Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, it's still morning. So used to doing this at Tuesdays or 1 o'clock. Hey, everyone. Happy August 1st. It is time for the color of the month. My name is Toy Sweeney. I am the founder of the Well Dressed brand, author of the book Secrets of a Well Dressed Brand. I am so excited, as I am every month, to bring this color to you. Listen, we are 8 months deep into the color of the month. I'm having so much fun with this. You guys are also having a lot of fun with it as well, especially if you are joining us on Tuesdays at Instagram. We are live on Tuesdays, every Tuesday on Instagram at about 1 p.m. And this time, the first of the month obviously fell on a Tuesday. So I tried to find a good in between because I usually kick it off a little earlier this month. And, coming off of my birthday month, and I had visitors every weekend in July. My sister-in-law Karen is still here, and orange just happens to be her favorite color. So I'm excited, doubly excited. I will tell you why that's important a little bit later as we're going through the color of the month, but I hope that you guys are doing well. Listen, if you have not signed up to receive the color of the month email, go ahead log on to toysweeney.com and sign up for the newsletter. It is this month, you guys. I got the color of the month newsletter in my mailbox, just like all of you, early this morning, and I was like, man, this thing is packed full of information. I think I might have got a little excited, and I gave you a lot of information. I will be definitely going through the Amazon Live a little bit later today. So those of you who are waiting on that, I'm sorry I was a little behind. I have been a little crazy with work and visitors and all of those things, and so get that out to you. But one of the things that is in my Amazon shop that I can't wait to share with you, and let me see, on Instagram you can see a little bit more of my body, but I'm wearing these shorts that are linen, that's a part of a set that I found on Amazon, and it's just a great way to just kind of transition into fall. And so isn't it sad that we're thinking about that already? But August seems like the perfect month to talk about orange. As always, even just yesterday, my son said to me, why orange? And like, why he went through the normal questions that you guys ask. What is the color of the month tomorrow? Is what he said yesterday. And how do you pick the colors of the month, and why orange for August, And so we were sitting there and going through all of that. But August just seems like the perfect transitional colors. We're only 52 days out from autumn. I know. You're not ready to have your toes in unless you live in a warmer area, but we do not. And I am really sad to report that the summers in upstate New York are so short, so very, very short. My sister-in-law was asking me this morning about my shoe collection, and I was saying to her, well, what's really sad is that I don't get to really wear my dressy boots. Summer's so short. Fall even sometimes feels like a blip, and we're kind of in fall now. The weather's a little bit all over the place, but there's leaves on the ground. They're already turning. It's just like, boo. But that's okay because we will continue to power through. There are way worse things to complain about. So I'm just great to be here with all of you. Grateful to be alive if we're being real serious about it. So orange, again, depending on the shades, can be bright for summer. So it made it a perfect fit, or it can go right into that pumpkin latte for autumn. And so it just was a perfect fit. Orange illuminates the intellect, happiness, positivity of yellow, which we talked about in June, and the attention and the courage and the energy of red. And so you got it when you mix red and orange to red and see, we're starting out with this brain already today. When you mix red and yellow together, you get orange. And so those are the 2 months that we were coming off of. So it was another perfect reason that orange just made sense for August. And so I'm excited about all of those things. Orange does get its name from the fruit. The fruit is believed to have been cultivated in China, and then gradually, as it spread to the West, according to the book Secret Lives of Color. You guys know how much I love that book. Orange, as a name for the color, only emerged during the 16th century. And so before that, English speakers had used the cumbersome portmanteau in the geo le red, which was a yellow red, is what that translates into. So in his book concerning the spirit, the title of the book is Concerning the Spiritual in Art from 1912. Wasily Kandinsky, the Russian abstract artist, wrote in that about the color orange. He wrote, "Orange is like a man convinced of his own power." So when you think about all the things that we talked about with the color red last month, and it being such a powerful color, when you're fusing these colors together, and it's another reason that I was excited to bring orange to you, is that you're getting the excitement from both colors. You're getting the intellect of yellow and all of these kinds of things, but orange in itself is so very interesting. So I'm super excited to talk to you about that as well. So that was that quote. Orange is like a man conceived of his own power. The other thing too is I just noticed this, that, oh, I should have grabbed it. I don't usually do this on live. I don't even know if this is going to be, you know what, I'll do a post about it later. So I was in the newsletter. If you got one today, I just realized that as I'm talking about different companies that are using orange, one of them is Slice. And so, as you guys know, Slice is sponsoring the Well Dressed Brand TV show. And so many of you, when I go live on Facebook, are like, what are those ceramic knives and scissors and all the things that you're using? And it's Slice brand products. And so I will definitely put a link for that in the show notes as per usual, so that you can. I can't believe the amount of you who have either said, hey, I have them already and I love them, or hey, can you tell me what the link is for those products again? If you are on Instagram and you click the link in my bio right up there, then it will send you directly to the website so you can know what I'm talking about. And if you are oh, look, Slice Brand joining us live on Instagram. We're excited about the orange I know that this month's color, because it's your company's brand color. I love it. And white, which we talked about in April. And so I love that. And so, yes, I am so excited to have them as sponsors for the Well Dressed Brand TV show. If you're joining me on YouTube, you can see a whole tutorial about the products. And definitely on my TikTok, I do a couple unboxings so that you can see the products in action. But we will be talking about Slice products all month for that very reason, because are they practical, affordable, and they fit in so perfectly to the color of the month. All right, let's get back to it. So orange is a show off color, right? Remember, that person when you were growing up that you're like, they're just showing off. Well, they would be an orange personality. It really relates to adventure and risk taking, confidence, independence. Orange is the color that is always on the go. So who do you know in your life that's always on the go? They may be an orange personality. Orange is the color of introverts. It's uninhibited, encouraging. It is also a warm and inviting color. It again is pulling the mental. Remember when we talked about yellow in June, and I was talking about it's the color of intellect, right? It's the smart people color, but it's also pulling the physical stimulation that we are used to from the color red. Remember last month we talked about that physical attraction of red. So again, we're mixing them together, and then we're getting both in orange. And so that makes it kind of a cool color as well, for so many reasons that we're going to talk about today. Orange also helps to assist with the generating of new ideas. And so if you are someone that leads creative teams, maybe there's a meeting room where for those of you who are still meeting in person, or maybe you're going in a couple, nights a week or something, or nights, mornings, afternoons, days a week, whatever. Orange is a color that you may want to put in the office or in your conference room to kind of generate and stimulate those ideas. So it helps with that. It frees the spirit, and it really illuminates us and allows us the freedom to be our complete self. So if you're lucky enough or thinking about to have this as your brand color, then, as we start to talk about a little later, that orange personality, you have to let me know if this makes sense to you. Orange is the color of your gut reaction. So how many of us have lived long enough that to always, 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 always trust your gut? It's the color of your gut instincts. And so you really understand the power of that. My favorite thing about the color orange is that it offers emotional strength in difficult times. So if you have a friend, or someone close to you that is going through a difficult time, then maybe you want to send them something orange, maybe an orange cup of tea, or orange coffee mug, a book, um, something that kind of will help to kind of jog that psychological part of it. It helps us to bounce back from disappointments and despair, discouragement, and it really helps with the assisting in the recovery of grief. Excuse me, I'm so like, I need a little swig. And so maybe you have someone who is grieving something. Maybe it's the loss of a job, or a loved one, or even a pet. Something orange may be the thing that they need to brighten the day. Psychologically, they're saying that it's going to really pull them out of that grief and help them with encouraging. So perhaps if you have a coaching, or again, consulting business, you may want to add some orange in your business to kind of help aid with those things, if that's the kind of thing that you're talking about. The color orange also relates to social communication. Isn't that what we're doing right now? Social communication. And it's all about stimulating two-way conversation. And so I'm going to be expecting you to talk to me in the comments, because apparently I'm wearing the color to encourage you to have two-way conversations. We talked about the positive traits of orange: optimistic, cheerful, uninhibited, warm-hearted, self-confident, creative. Some of the negative words, because we don't want to make it all rainbows and sunshines. So you don't think about this when you are using this as your brand color, that it could come across as inexpensive. But if you have a brand like, I think at one point Payless was orange, or if you got the newsletter, I listed a ton of companies who have the color orange that would be considered like a lesser brand, but also some prestigious brands like Hermes uses orange as well. So it can be considered luxury, but you just want to make sure that when you, or if you decide to use it, you want to make sure that you're using it in the right way, which is very exciting. So some of the negative words could be, it could be seen as insincere, overbearing, and superficial. So again, with any color, we talk about every month, why are we, like, what are you using these colors for, right? Well, you want to be very strategic about what colors you decide to use as your brand. By the way, why are we talking about the color of the month? Why did we start doing this in January? Because, as someone who changes the way people think about getting dressed, really laying the foundation for your personal brand and for your business, color is one of those kind of secret weapons that we don't think to always use, but it will sway the thinking of your consumer or your customer, and whatever that means to you, whether you're going to parent teacher conference, starting the business, or in the middle of something like that. Color is very, very important. It's such an emotional thing, that has psychological attributes as well. And so we don't often talk about fluffy kind of fashion. So for those of you who are joining me for the first time and seeing this come up in your feed, when you look at my timeline, it's especially on Instagram, it's never about the color of the month or this outfit, because I'm really about giving you strategies, life hacks, things that are going to change your life and change your business from a psychological perspective. So it's never just about the look or the outfit. It's about, what do you want to say? And so that is why we decided to, in January, launch the color of the month. And so just want to be careful how you're using color, because it is way more powerful than I think any of us realize. Oh, my notes are upside down. Okay, orange is the most rejected and underused color. And so, again, as we start thinking about businesses, it's a color that is also considered youthful, like pink. And so, a younger generation is typically more attracted to it. In fact, the person that was asking me about, hey, what are those ceramic knives that you were using that was like white and orange or gray and orange? They were much younger uh, than, and I thought that that was interesting that it caught their eye. So it really does work. And I'm like, slice products. That's what it was. Um, and so, if you are one who, so you have, if you want to, if you are orange personality, let's talk about that. How many of you, orange is your favorite color? So really quickly, as I said to you, actually my husband came downstairs this morning and he said, oh, I just got my color of the month email. And I noticed that it was orange, that it's orange. And I was, like, yeah. And he said, oh, is it because my sister's here and it's her favorite color? And I was like, well, that wasn't planned, because I planned these out months in advance. Like, I can tell you all the way through the end of the year what color we're doing. I'm not going to, but because you have to sign up for the color of the month email. But anyway, and so I was like, no. And so as I was thinking about that this morning and talking to you specifically about an orange personality, I could not help but think about my sister-in-law, Karen. So warm, optimistic, it exudes a good nature. It's a generally agreeable person. They are assertive and determined rather than aggressive. Their highest terror threat level in the United States. So I don't know if that is like a code orange or how they communicate that, but that was what I read. So I thought I'd share it with you. Orange is the color of, okay, I'm going to see, make sure I try to pronounce this right. Guatemala Bay Detention Camp, which is a military prison in the United States. So that reminds me of like Orange is the New Black. I wonder if that was kind of, as they were researching that, where they got that idea from. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Um, yeah, I was really, really shocked to know about the black box, that it was actually orange. Anyway, so that's most of what I have for you today. I was thinking too that for those of you who got the newsletter this morning, you know that in there I talk about ways to wear the color orange. And so I won't go through all the different ways to pair it up and things like that, because I talked about it in the newsletter earlier. But one thing that I'm going to give you that is not in the newsletter, because I was thinking about one of my clients this morning who really does not like the color orange at all. I just realized that this is lopsided, but I'm going to leave it. There we go. And she doesn't like the color orange, and she doesn't like the color yellow, and she doesn't like the color pink. And so I was thinking about that this morning as I was just reading through the newsletter, and I said, oh, one of the things that we could talk about is, and I bet you're curious, like, what do you do with a client that's like that, right? Don't worry. She is in good hands, and we figured out, came up with her specific brand colors and all of those things. But I shared that with you to say that when you're talking about ways to wear something and you don't like certain colors, then your accessories can play a part in it. So maybe you don't want to wear full on orange or green or red or whatever, but you may not mind it in accessories. And so that was one of the tools that we did with her. But you can also bring other colors in and create a color combination. Like if you're going to wear monochromatic orange, think about your accessories. And so not necessarily just your earrings and your neck. As we talked about, orange is such a show off color. You can, if you got the newsletter, there's a link to her website and her book. And if you want a little bit of help to how to show up on, as she says, in these digital streets, I love when she says that. If that's something that you need help with, make sure that you do. Also, the book that we're highlighting this month, oh gosh, I usually have it in front of me. It is a fashion book that highlights a ton of African American um, designers, and the proceeds help HBCU schools. So, or HBCU. I don't have to say schools after that. So yes, and so that is what I have for you for color of the month. Have a great